Hey, what's up? It's Breyonna. So I asked you guys over on Instagram which ColourPop Ice Cream Bites collection palette I should use next, and everybody was like, girl, we need to see Rainbow Sprinkles, and honestly, I'm really happy that all of you guys are telling me to use this one too, because this one to me is just so unique and different because it is so sparkly. Like, this palette right here is 100% glitter. Like, there is absolutely no mattes in here, no shimmer, just literally glitter. So if you don't like pressed glitters, you're probably not gonna like this one. But honestly, like, it just reminds me of fairies, and it just looks so cool and fun. And this like orangey kind of like shimmer shade right here just looks like it has a lot of dimension to it. But since this palette is 100% glitter, like there's absolutely no mattes in here whatsoever, I'm going to be pairing it with the That's Taupe palette from ColourPop, you know, just to be able to get a full-on look with it. And again, I like this palette. Like, it is one of my all-time favorites. I actually regret not getting this palette sooner because I literally dip into it probably like weekly, just because it is such a nice cool tone neutral palette to have, and the shimmers in here are extra sparkly. So I just primed my eyes, but the first shade I'm going to be going in with is the lightest matte in here, and this one's called Boa, and I'm just going to be taking it on this big old fluffy brush, and this one I believe is from Profusion. Yep, it's an ES3. Again, we're going to be kind of doing something a little bit out there today because, I don't know, I just want to do something a little bit different. So I'm first going to pop this in my crease, and this is going to be acting as our transition shade today. I was going to do a full-on glitter look, but honestly, I like a little bit of something in my crease, and I have a really cool idea I want to do, and I feel like getting a little bit of framework is just going to make like the world of difference with it. But I'm just going to take a little bit more on my brush, just to kind of, you know, deepen it up a little. And with this shade, I am really like blowing it out. Now you could leave this, but I want like a little bit more definition, so what I'm going to do is go in with this kind of like smokier taupey kind of color, and this one's called Rocksteady. And I'm just going to be taking this shade on this brush from the Morphe Madison Beer collection. It's kind of like a thicker, bigger pencil brush. Oh, I got like a rogue hair. It's going to be the bane of my existence. But I'm just going to, again, pop this in the crease. And I'm also going to kind of like wing out this outer edge a little bit. I'm just going to pack it down, kind of like wing shape. And I'm just going to go in with a little bit more on my brush, just to help deepen it up. Again, this is one of those palettes that is so effortless to use. Like, you literally apply to a couple circles and it's like boom, blended, which is something I really like about it. And I'm just going to go back in with that brush that we applied Boa with no additional product. And I'm just going to kiss the edge of Rocksteady. Again, just trying to make sure everything is blended together and looking good. So now we're going to be cutting the crease, and I just put a little bit of my ABH eye primer on the back of my hand, and I'm just going to take this little fine liner brush from Amazon. It's a nail art brush. And what I'm going to do is cut the crease. And I'm just going to go slightly above my natural crease, following the shape of it. And then when I get to the end right here, I'm just going to do like a little bit of a wing, little flick. And I'm just going to take a little bit more on my brush and do a wing liner with it. So what I'm going to do is, you see my waterline right here, I'm going to follow this shape and bring it up. You can see if I take my brush and follow my waterline and extend it, it gives you like the perfect wing liner. I don't know why I said it's so weird, but that's what I like to do, and that's what I find is the easiest way to do it. And then when I get to the tip here, I'm just going to bring it into what we have going on. I guess you would need to wing out this little flick here, but that's just kind of how I do it. I'm just going to take a little bit more of my brush, bring it in. Again, this is going to look a little bit funky, but what I'm going to do is take a little bit more of that eye primer on this Anastasia number 18 brush, and I'm just going to fill in everything underneath. So we kind of did the framework, and now we're just filling it in. And you want to make sure that it is kept really sharp. Okay, to set the lid though, I'm just going to go in with this shimmer out of the palette, and this one's called Slated, because honestly I just prefer putting a shimmer underneath the pressed glitter. I just think it makes it look a little bit more pizzazzy. And this one's kind of like a taupey, kind of like champagne kind of color. Then using a shader brush, I'm just gonna pack this all over. And again, my brush is dry, it's not damp. I need a little bit more. But why I like to apply a shimmer underneath is because it kind of like fills in the gap of the glitter, so it just makes it look way more intense and sparkly. And I feel like this shade's gonna go really well underneath of the glitters too, because they all kind of have like that iridescent, like cutesy fairy kind of vibe. And I feel like just something icy is gonna pair really well with them. And I mean, I'm like setting the whole thing, like the wing, all of it. Anywhere that that base is showing. And now that we got the framework done, let's go in with rainbow sprinkles. And the first shade I want to go in with is the purple out of the palette. And this one is called, it's really hard to read the back of this, but it says Malt Melt. Like the text and the background color are extremely close, so it's kind of hard to read. Since I have this winged out situation, I'm going to go in with a brush. You could also use your finger if you want. I just want to make sure I get a little bit more precision. But I'm just going to be packing this down in the outer, like, fourth. I think I need a little bit more on my brush. Yeah, this is like definitely like an iridescent, like lavender kind of color. Yeah, I'm gonna go in with my finger. Yeah, if you want to be more intense, definitely use your finger and then use a brush for the edge. Because you can kind of see it just made it a little bit more intense, whereas the brush made it look a little soft. And glitter-wise, this is not like a chunky kind of glitter. It's like a finely milled one. So now I'm just going to go in with the baby pink, and this time around I'm just going to use my finger. And this one is called Candy Coated. Like, it just has a lot of dimension to it, and again, all the glitters in here are finely milled. They're not like that chunky kind of vibe. I'm just gonna pop it right next to the shade that we just applied. Yeah, like these are very like iridescent and more of like a cutesy kind of vibe. I think they'd be really pretty to like transform different shades and just to add a pop of sparkle. You can see it just added just a little touch of pink with like that like glittery kind of effect. If you like fairy makeup, as my mom would call it, you know, iridescence and like lighter shimmers with just like a touch of glitter, you'll probably really enjoy these. And now let's go in with the one that I'm the most curious about, and that is this yellowy kind of like orangey shade called Yes Please. And I'm actually going to take this shade on a brush and see what happens. And ooh, this one's like really, really crumbly. Like I barely tapped into it and it just like got everywhere in the pan. Like, ooh, this one's really, really messy. And I guess here goes nothing. Do you see what I mean though? Like this one just seems like it has a lot of dimension to it. Like it's like this orangey yellow, and then it has like a green and pink iridescent chip to it. It's just a very interesting glitter. I'm gonna go in with a little bit more of my brush. I'll be honest, the more that I look at it, I don't see much of a difference between the pink and the purple with the eye look that I have going on. Maybe it would look different if you had different colors near it, but I don't see much of a difference. Yeah, I'm actually gonna go in with my finger with this shade too. I'm just gonna kind of like bring it into the center a little bit more. Out of all the glitters though, this one's definitely my favorite. Just because it has such a cool vibe to it. You can just see, it actually made a difference, whereas the pink and the purple are just so icy and iridescent. On top of the icy shade that I have going on, there's not a whole lot going on. It would probably look way different if I had a darker shimmer underneath. And I'm just going to go in with the last color now, and this one is called Sugar Ice. Again, I'm just going to be taking it on my brush, and also this one is not as crumbly as the other one was. This one's definitely holding in the pan a little bit better. Now, I'm not going to pop this in my inner corner because I made that mistake last time and it got in my eye and it was like super itchy. So I'm just going to apply it in the inner fourth of my lid and trying to stay away from the inner corner. But this one's really pretty too. It seems like the first two are more of like an iridescent vibe, and then these two have a lot more dimension and a lot more like shine and sparkle to them. Like I just feel like with the colors that they're going to transform an eye look depending on the shade that you have underneath. As you can kind of see, like this one just has like an icy white, like holographic kind of vibe. Here, maybe if I apply a little bit more, you can see a little bit better. But it almost kind of reminds me of like an opal. Just looks really, really fun. Again, I don't feel like this is going to be everybody's cup of tea for an eyeshadow palette, but if you like glitter, you're going to fall in love with it. So we're going to get a little wild, and what I'm going to do is take this Anastasia Beverly Hills brow pen. I know it's for brows, but I don't like it for brows. I actually like using it as a liquid liner. And what I'm going to do is take this, and I'm going to trace around the cut crease that we have going on. Just ever so slightly. And again, this is a brush tip, so it's really easy to use. Ooh, baby, I am loving how this look is turning out. Like, I don't know what it is about it, but it's just such a fun, yet kind of like graphic kind of look. I don't know, I just think it's turning out really fun. But let's start working on the lower lash line, because I did, you know, the rest of my face off camera, because otherwise this video would be like crazy, crazy long. But, you know, the first shade I'm going to go in with is that Rocksteady shade that we used, that darker one. I'm just going to be taking it on this teeny tiny little shader brush, and this one's from Morphe. And I just want to match what we have going on in the top, and I'm just running it as close as I can to where my lashes grow out. The black liners from when I tight lined, I accidentally sneezed and it transferred, and we're just going to smoke it around. Now I'm just going to take a little bit of BOA and smoke it down. I'm also kind of like connecting this outer edge a little bit too with BOA. Then for the inner corner highlight, I'm just going to go in with a little bit of Slated on this pencil brush, and this is an Anastasia A14. Just going to go in with a second layer, just to really like make it super, super blinding. I don't know what it is about this look, but this look is one of my favorite looks I have ever done. It's like smoky, it's glittery, it has some pop of color to it. I don't know, I just think it turned out really fun. But this palette right here, I would say, is just an okay palette. Like, to me, this is a very niche palette, like something I don't see everybody really enjoying. Because again, it is 100% glitter, so if you do not like pressed glitter, stay clear of this one because you're not gonna like it. But like, there's just something so fun about it being full glitter, especially these two shades right here, like this yellow shade and then the iridescent like opal-y kind of color. Like, these ones are very different and fun, and they just have a lot of dimension to them. But I will say these other two shades, like the pink and the purple, now these ones are very iridescent and very, very light. Like, there's not a lot of like oomph to them. They still give like that pretty glittery effect to the eye, but they're just not like super crazy pigmented like they look in the pan. Whereas these two right here, like especially this yellowy orange one, this one is very, very intense even for a pressed glitter. But if you're looking for some pressed glitters, or if you're looking for something to really kind of like amp up the palettes that you already have in your collection, I think this is a really fun one. And also, if you like glitter and you like fairy makeup with like really iridescent and shimmery shades, you probably will really enjoy this one. I just don't see that this is going to be the palette for everybody. And again, for pressed glitter, ColourPop definitely has my favorite formula because it does not flake throughout the day, it does not like crumble off, and also it's very easy to apply because it almost applies like an eyeshadow in a way, like a really shimmery eyeshadow. And it's very creamy with the texture, and it's not like scratchy or itchy because I have very sensitive eyes, and this formula has never bothered me. The only issue I have with this palette, besides it being 100% glitter, is that the packaging does not scream ice cream to me at all. Because I mean, like the outer casing, this is really cute. It has like an ice cream little vibe, it's super adorable. But the packaging of the palette itself just doesn't have that. Like, it doesn't have any sprinkles, it doesn't have any like ice cream little designs. It literally is just a clear little palette. And like the back right here is like a pale yellow, and it's really hard to read the shade names on here. That's another thing I don't like. But I just wish that they would have included, you know, some like ice cream kind of theme on the palette itself. Because let's be honest, most people are going to throw this case right here. But yeah, so in the comments down below, let me know what you think about this look, and also let me know which palette I should use next. I kind of want to use the purple one called Gimme Sugar, but let me know what you think. But as always though, if you haven't already, make sure you hit the subscribe button down below, and also give this video a like. And if you'd like to check me out over on Instagram or TikTok, it's at Breyonna as well. And I'll talk to you guys later. Bye!